Welcome to House of Games. First, let my co-host introduce himself.
Yo, it's me, Rune Shimotsu de Storm. I'm here today as well. And our guest.
Hi, thanks for having me, first of all. My name's Hannes. I'm a civil engineering student at Umeå and an indie game developer in my spare time.
I'm Otto, and together we're gonna make an episode about your games, especially your newly released one. What's it called?
The newly released one I released on Steam recently is called Haste-Miner 2.
What is it about?
It's sort of an incremental game, kind of similar to clicker games, but it has some more stuff but just clicking. I developed it for the web originally, but then quite a lot of people wanted to see it on Steam as well, so
Nice.
figured I published there. I had a really huge growth spurt 2 days ago, which I was really surprised by. So I just noticed my Discord server. I started gaining quite a few more members, like the increase than I usually get. So then I went on and checked. I thought maybe I sold a couple units. Went on a Steam page and checked. I read it, and I don't know if you've seen the backside of their Steamworks. It's quite hard to read.
The
when
statistics.
You're new. Yeah, the statistics. So I checked, and I just saw, okay, I sold 1 unit today. But then I checked again, because what I had checked was how many Linux units. Before this, I had sold maybe 100. Like I had broken even for the fee that you pay Steam. And then I see I'd sold 89 units in an hour. I got really shocked. I was like, what happened? I thought maybe their algorithm picked it up and started promoting it a lot or something. But then I kind of realized what had happened. So I Googled the game title. First thing that popped up was a video of a guy with around 250,000 subscribers who had played it.
Cool.
Yeah, that really boosted the game. That was really exciting when it happened. I remember you talked about it earlier when you had people who promoted your stuff as well. Yeah. So that was really cool. First time it's ever happened. And
Cool. Who was the YouTuber?
Angry Tom, I think it was called.
Right.
And well, yeah, that was really,
That's
got really hyped.
Yeah, that's awesome when you make that kind of game that is, how should I say, when you watch someone else play it, you can be, I want to play that too. Because it's like the gameplay is the main thing, or the grind, if you will, is sort of the main thing. Because I also had a YouTuber who played Red Colony 3 in particular, the final chapter, the final episode with the conclusion and all that. And his title was like, this game just through Elden Ring for Game of the Year. And it has shitloads of views, but it translates to no sales. And that's probably, I suspect that, because it's a story-driven, slow game, that's maybe just as much fun, or if not more fun, to watch someone else play than playing yourself.
Yeah, because if it's story-driven, you watch someone play it, then you've gotten the story. I think that's one of the factors in that.
Which is
quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it is a bummer. I was thinking, man, if only like 10% of those views could have gone out and bought the game, that would be awesome. Because then I would probably keep on making the Red Colony games, because it has like it's fans, but it's not. I don't think I can keep making them.
Here's an idea for that. Maybe a solution. The problem is that when you watch someone else play, they kind of spoil the story, so there's like nothing left to play. So maybe this is harder to implement, but if you would do some kind of branching stories or something,
different endings.
Yeah, or you could do like Skyrim or Fallout, that you have like different speech options. Or I haven't played your game, unfortunately, but then you would possibly trigger something like, what if he shows that instead, and they wanna play it to find out.
Yeah, each game has 2 endings, but then you can sort of read the comments, and then someone will explain the other ending, or leave a link to the other ending. Yeah, that's one way of making people go out and pick it up instead of just watching someone else. But my sort of main philosophy when I make games is just to make games that I want to play myself, or just to have fun. I don't really want to sit and think about how I can make more money, or how can I make people buy it. But that being said, what I'm starting working on now does have that sort of options, dialogue options, because I do like telling stories, and not saying I'm good at it, but it's fun to tell stories, have characters talking and stuff like that. So it could maybe be a thing that happens in that game. That someone watch a YouTuber and then be like, if I played, I would have done that and see if the story changed or whatever. But even those things are, quite complex to make the story branch too much. Yeah. It's when you're alone.
Yeah, of course. It's easy for me to just sit there and say, just make it branching forever.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea though.
Do you have a future for the game, or is it like published and therefore done, or?
I mean, I've been working on updates for when I published it to web. It was much smaller, so I did work on updates for it. Right now, I don't have much of a plan for content because I feel like I've kind of run into a wall. If I add more stuff, it's gonna get overly complicated.
Yeah,
stuff is gonna maybe break. I haven't written the best like formatted code and stuff, so but I'm gonna do a couple things. I think.
How long have you worked on it for?
I started around April. I worked on and off around a month. Then I released it on the web.
Do you have any like additional background in game development, or did you start recently like me, or?
I started around 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. Picked up, like most people, Brackies.
Right, yeah. Very similar to me.
Yeah, their YouTube tutorial. Started picking it up, and then I just sat in classes on my spare time just coding games.
It's called Haste-Miner 2. Is there a first game as well?
Yeah, there's a first one, but it's much more simple than the first one.
Okay.
Or the second one.
Is the first one on Steam as well, or on the web only?
On the web only.
How long did it take to convert it from web-based game to Steam?
Wasn't that difficult because Unity has some really good built-in features from just building to web, building for a standalone.
Oh.
But then, obviously, integrating all of Steam's stuff in the game took a while.
Oh.
Setting up the page and stuff.
That does take a while. I had some questions about that. And well, I was going to ask, was this your first game? But Haste-Miner 1 is, I guess, your first game then, if you've only done this for 2 years, or?
No, it wasn't my first one. I have around 5 or 6 on the web.
Oh,
that is a pretty good track record for a hobbyist, I would say.
Yeah, the first one I published around the start of the year. It's called Pixel Artist Clicker. That was just, I tried to build something really small to test the waters of, the player base or the website I published to. So
that's a good start. I think we talked about last week or last time. Yeah. I said that I set my ambitions so damn high, and too many people do that, so nothing actually happens.
I did as well the first year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just spent months on one thing, and it didn't come to anything. So then I scoped down quite a lot, and I think that's the way to go.
And that first thing that never came to fruition, was that like, did you use the same sort of idea in your next game, or was it just...
no, completely different.
Oh.
I think I started with the same sort of stuff that you did. Open world, crafting, procedurally generated, just lots of features, and took a while.
Yeah, exactly. That's I think it's quite impressive that the most difficult thing in like game development that I've realized is just releasing. So I would give kudos to that, just to get that out there and just do it like 5-6 times, and you probably have a good process of just from start to finish.
Yeah.
So this was your first on Steam?
Yes.
Yeah. And how... You said it took some time to make it work with Steam. So do you have Steam achievements in the game?
Yeah, I had achievements. That was there's 2 voluntary things they want you to add.
Okay.
Achievements and cloud saving. I just added the achievements.
And how did you think? Like, how long did that take?
Once I figured it out, it wasn't that difficult. There was always some bugs when I was trying to do it, but I think the part that took the longest was just creating the icons for all the different achievements.
Yeah, it's crazy how much work it is just to make a Steam page. Like you think it's just like uploading a YouTube video, but damn, it takes forever. Yeah. And there's so many places you have to edit information and do all that stuff.
I think there was around, I needed to upload 20 different images, just different sizes, different resolutions for all the different parts of the Steam app. That took quite a while.
So did you do like everything in the game yourself? So all the art,
pretty
and
much.
music, and
all the coding I did myself. Most of the graphics. The only thing I didn't do myself was background, because I suck at drawing like bigger stuff in pixel art. It's super difficult. So I just used assets for that.
Oh, right.
Same with all the audio. I didn't do anything. I used assets for the sound effects, and for the music I used a pretty good software where it's like an AI that generates songs for you.
Oh, cool. What's it called?
Ecret.
How do you spell that?
ECRETT.
Cool.
There's a free version, but once you download a song, they put like a audio watermark in the song.
Right.
The paid version isn't that expensive. It's like $7 a month. So it's super worth it. So you can just...
And you keep like all the songs you generate?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you generate it like 1 month and you end your subscription, you can just keep using it, the songs you generated. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's a really good software.
Yeah.
If you're on a budget.
Are you subscribing to that still?
Yeah, I still am. Even though I haven't used it that much, but might as well.
I wanted to ask too. So I haven't played the game. I checked the trailer and some images, and I thought about SteamWorld Dig, like digging.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of game is it? Would you say? Like,
before you answer, can I like make a qualified guess as to what like the intention is, and you can like correct me?
Yeah.
So the like impression that I got from it was like some sort of mix of like Motherlode and Terraria.
I haven't played Motherlode actually. I saw that was mentioned about the game. Someone was comparing it to that. I haven't seen that game, but Terraria I've played hundreds of hours of. But I'd say the game is more similar to actually a game mode in Minecraft. It's called Prisons.
Oh, I haven't played that.
It's kind of similar where you mine out in a hole, you earn money, you earn stuff to upgrade your pickaxe, and you just keep going.
Cool.
Have you played SteamWorld Dig? It's actually developed by Swedes as well. It was very big on the Switch when the Switch came out, but then again, everything that was released on the Switch around the time it came out just was a cash cow.
Right.
But I played it, and that's what I thought about. I mean, it's digging basically. That is the same thing here. Right. But I was curious to know what sort of genre you would say your game is before I ask my main question here.
I guess it could be classed in the clicker genre.
So here's my question, because there's so many games coming out all the time. It's difficult to make something that is truly unique and to stick out from the rest of the crowd. Right. You said you released it on the web browser first, and then people wanted a Steam version. So I guess there's some following and some fans. But what would you say makes your game unique compared to other similar games?
That's a really good question. No, I think that the fact that I built it for the web attracted an audience, because there's lots of games on the web where they're kind of similar. There's lots of clicker games that are exactly the same. You click, you earn money, you upgrade. I think I wanted to go with that, but with a more unique sort of gameplay, which I also did on the second title that I published.
One thing that I'm really curious about, so you say that you have, or actually I've seen it myself, you publish a couple of games to the web.
Right.
So how does that process work? I mean, in part, there's some kind of monetization with ads, I think. Yeah. Tell us about that. How does that work?
Yeah, so when I publish to the web, obviously you can publish to pages like itch, where you just upload whatever you want, but you don't really get much of an audience that way, because there's obviously thousands of games every day being uploaded. So I found this website where they get lots of players every month. Around the millions. So you submit a game in there, you write all the stuff, title, description, stuff like that, and they go through a review process. So they actually check the games, and that obviously means that they have way fewer titles being published, so you get way more eyes on your stuff when you publish it. And they had a SDK for ads that you can integrate, so you can play like ordered ads, like, oh, watch an ad and you receive this and this and this. So I use that. It's much easier to use than Unity's built-in SDK. You literally just wrote one line.
One line of code?
Pretty much to play a rewarded ad and stuff.
Because I code too, I'm sort of curious how that would look like. So the SDK, is that like a package you import to Unity?
Yeah, you import it into your project.
And then that brings some assets and some scripts in it?
Yeah.
And then in one of those scripts, that script is communicating with your scripts that you've written yourself.
Exactly. You just call their script, basically.
So you call that script from your script, or is it the other way around? I guess from your script.
Yeah. So I implement, obviously, the logic. Like, when they press this button, call.
Okay. Or when you have, if player has 10 coins, and then there's like the command that talks to the SDK script, and then an ad will pop up.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Pretty much. So it's super easy to use. And
it's quite similar to the achievements in Steam then. Like, I've done that myself, but...
that's also one line of code pretty much.
Yeah.
You just choose which achievement you want to set status.
I barely remember how... I did it in one game and I just copy-pasted in all the other games. So I don't really remember how it works. And I can't even believe that I managed to make it work once. It's just... I thought it was damn difficult to wrap my head around that. Because I haven't written those scripts myself. So it's like, coding is a language. It's really hard to understand all of it.
Yeah.
Are you working on a third game or a totally different? What's next?
Well, I'm working on a third kind of, I guess series in the Haste-Miner saga, if you want to call it that. But I'm planning on making a much bigger one now that I've seen that I don't have to just spend 2 weeks, because that's what I was doing before. I didn't want, in case it flopped or because of the review process, even if they deny it, I don't want to have spent like months working on it. But now that I've seen that I built up a small community players, I feel like I can actually invest time and get some sort of players.
That's a good approach. One of my games, I spent a lot of time on it, and then when I went through the review process, it was just like, you have to censor this, and I was like, I had to go back and censor a bunch of stuff and take stuff out, and it was like, if you want this in the game, you have to have an 18 plus rating, and in order to get that, you need to go through ESRB, yada yada. It was just, probably a good approach to make something small and more simple, and then build an audience. And now you can go more all in on the third title.
Yeah,
making games now as well.
Yeah,
tell us what's in the pipe.
Well, now I'm. What am I doing? I'm preparing Knife Boy reboots. It was sent to Nintendo last week, so they're gonna play it, test it, see if it's all right.
How is that process like?
Oh, it's horrible.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's let's see. So, I'm doing it right now. So it's like, well, you play your game a lot by yourself, and I have a small publisher in Japan, so they play it as well, and then they report all the bugs they can find, and then I fix them over and over and over again, and then I keep sending them builds, and then they play it again, and then we try to find all the bugs. You can never find them all because they are everywhere.
Yeah.
By the time we're like, well, we can't find anymore, then we send it to Nintendo, and then they also test the games. What they do, I don't know. I can assume that they have certain rules, like testing the saving and loading systems. And for example, maybe they play the game a little bit, and then they pick something up, and then they die, and then they load the game, and then they make sure that the thing you picked up is still picked up.
Yeah.
If that's what the creator had intended, and so on and so on. Or it should, respawn if that's what the creator had intended. So then they play the game, and then they report back to us if they find some bugs, and then I have to fix them, and then send back to Nintendo. Sort of explain that I fixed the bug like this, and if you want to make sure that the bug is not there, do this.
Right.
And then when that's all done, you go to the next step, is sort of preparing the eShop store, which would be like sending screenshots, make a trailer, and there's a bunch of rules for the trailer with all the watermarks, and it's a lot of work, and it's really not that fun. I think I just like to make games.
Yeah,
so all the things around I don't really enjoy.
So how would you compare that to the Steam page process?
Steam is way easier because I can do it myself.
Right.
I don't think they test much for bugs.
No, they test a little bit, I guess. But but I feel like even if there are bugs in the game, you can tell them, it's fine, and then they say it's fine.
Right.
But well, the games I release on Steam, they will come back, ask me like, how do you save, for example, because they want to check that it works. But Steam is way easier because you're sort of doing everything by yourself, uploading everything, all the pictures, and they will still check your Steam page to make sure there are no nudity or too gory stuff. Because when you upload the screenshots, you can also tick a box like 18 plus, 18 plus, 18 plus, and then the Steam users who are over 18, those screenshots will be available for them. Right, and people under 18, they can't see that. And the same thing with the trailer. You can't have too gory stuff or too much nudity, because these are public trailers, so everyone can see them. Unless maybe you have that 18 restriction thing that pops up on the screen. So there is still a little bit back and forth on Steam, but on Nintendo it feels more strict, or I don't know, more serious somehow, which makes it exciting, but at the same time quite.
So I think that could be because they just open it up, right, for the public.
Which one? The
Nintendo. They didn't used to allow.
Yeah. So now it's way easier to release on Nintendo, but there's still that process. And then I think I only released 3 games there, and the publisher do most of that stuff. So, and I ask him sometimes what it's like, but So I don't really know exactly how it goes, but I think once you release the trailer and the Steam, I mean the Nintendo page is ready, that's when you can sort of set the release dates and all that. Or at least that's what we do. And that, I think, is weird, though, because big companies, they can sort of set a release date way ahead of time. And I'm always thinking, like, how do they know that? Because you don't really know if Nintendo is going to be okay with this or that. And but as a small indie dev, we sort of wait until the page is fine and it's greenlit by Nintendo, and then we sort of give a release date. Right. Usually a month later or something like that.
So the process takes about a month to get it on the store.
Yeah, I would say so, because I think about 2 weeks to get your page greenlit with all the back and forth. And I guess they have a lot of people who want their pages greenlit, and there's staff from Nintendo looking at it. So
it's mostly, I would say, like not a month of full time, but a lot of waiting. Then I suppose.
Yeah. But then if you weigh in the time it takes to prepare the screenshots and to make the trailer, and it's a lot of work actually, but a little bit less than a month, and then after that maybe a month until you release it.
Interesting.
But it's way easier on Steam. I like that because you have more control over everything.
Cool.
Right.
Now that you've done a couple of games, what's like your dream game to make? Like you have all the money in the world and the best team in the world. What would you do?
Honestly, I have drew a lot of inspiration from Toby Fox. If you guys know who that is, creator of Undertale.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I recognize his name.
Yeah, I really enjoy that game. I think the story is amazing. The music is just bomb. It's really cool. But also some sort of Terraria game.
Yeah.
That's been a dream that was the thing I was trying to make when I just started. Sort of a top-down Terraria.
What do you like about that genre?
I mean, I just love the exploration part of it. There's so much to explore. I remember I'd probably have like 200 hours on the game on Steam, and that's in one world, just exploring.
This is probably a misconception, but could you explain, so I've only played Minecraft,
right?
And in my head, I'm thinking Terraria is like a 2D Minecraft, but I'm assuming it's not.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of comparisons. A lot of people say it's 2D Minecraft. I mean, there's mining, there's crafting. The core part is similar to Minecraft. I mean, there's way more gameplay in Terraria. There's so much more stuff to do. There's tons of different bosses. I think in Minecraft it's just the dragon.
Right.
That's like the main boss.
Yeah.
In Terraria there's like a whole progression arc of bosses.
So is there a story?
There's not much of a story, no. It's just you defeat one boss and then you unlock. You can go on to the next.
Right.
Yeah.
I played Terraria for a little bit on my Vita. Is it on the Vita? It must be PlayStation Vita.
Oh, the handheld.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. It's like on every console.
Yeah. And I, just like when I played Minecraft, I was like, I can't play this. I'm not going to do anything else in my life but playing this. It's so
there's
addicting.
so much to do.
And it's fun.
Yeah, but you get really hooked. As you said,
Yeah, I can't do that, unfortunately. But how do you find time? I mean, you seem to be very passionate about that kind of, I mean, you sort of made a similar-ish inspired game by Terraria, and then, how do you find time to play, or how much do you play per week? Are you still playing it?
No, not much. But I mean, since I'm a student, I have a lot of free time. I don't study nearly 8 hours a day, so I have a lot of. And I mean, when I was doing that, I was still in high school. I think this is the gymnasium. I had even more spare time back then.
Cool. So even though you played it some time ago, you still like, if you had all the money in the world, you would like to do something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Top down, you said.
Yeah.
Like Zelda 6 on Super Nintendo. That
kind of similar, down. I guess. But then I recently saw a game on Steam that's pretty much what I wanted to do. So
that's always the problem.
Yeah.
What is it? Genius minds think alike or something. Every time you think you're...
Great minds think alike.
Right.
Yeah.
One question I think I can ask the both of you, since I haven't published anything as of yet. Building an audience and like a community and interacting with your fans. What is that like? What is that like process like?
Do you want to start?
You go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Well, didn't start immediately. We're trying to build up an audience. I had someone on Twitter had found some bug in some game, and he asked me if I had a Discord server where he could like report it, I guess. He had some feedback he wanted to tell me, and I didn't. And then I came to the idea maybe I should build up a community. So I did around a couple months ago, and then I just promoted it in all the new games I published. Interacting with the players is really fun. Also, seeing negative feedback isn't always the best if it's not constructive, but well, it's mainly positive stuff. So it's really fun.
For me, it was I started with a Twitter grind, like you like me, I like you. Kept doing that. Like I just hate being online, which makes it so hard for me to give a good answer for this. I just wish I could be offline for the rest of my life. But I had a friend. It was actually my first game, Knife Boy, which isn't really out yet, or it's on Steam and it gets the reboot in a couple of months for Nintendo Switch as well. That was shown on the Kind of Funny. Kind of Funny, the game podcast, American. Kind of Funny showcase. They did like a showcase when E3 was canceled. I have been sort of a part of that community for a while. So I asked, can you guys show my game? So they showed it. And then there was a bunch of YouTubers who did these sort of react, when you react to E3 stuff. And then some YouTubers made like, we react to Kind of Funny's game showcase. And then... They saw Knife Boy, and then I gave their sort of genuine opinions right there and then. So I stumbled across one guy, Adam from Switch Indie Fix. He's not really doing that anymore, but he saw Knife Boy and thought it looked really wacky and cool. And then I just commented on the movie, I think, on that video on YouTube, like, oh, thanks for liking it. It means a lot, something like that. We started chatting on Twitter, and then he said, like, I want to do PR and stuff. Do you want some help? So he sort of helped me a lot with actually he did pretty much everything. He helped so much with trying to build a community and all the Twitter stuff. On Reddit, we have like all that stuff. So he helped so much and like sending out review codes to various people. So he sort of took care of pretty much all of that. Now he's sort of busy with his life and he's working with games too. So it's back on me now to do all of it. And nothing happens since I took charge of it again because I just don't have it in me. But I do think that it's super fun to, like you said, when fans write to you, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
And because I'm quite offline and not really active, I get emails, sort of private emails, which makes me even more happy because they have sort of taken their time to find my email. And then, especially with Red Colony 1, it was like questions. Because of the ending, it's quite a dark ending. I got so many emails asking like, did this really happen or did I make a mistake? Like, why did this happen? So that was really cool. Like, meaning people got so invested in the story that they felt like they took their time to try to find me, reach out and ask. And then I will give them like a pretty long, proper answer and all that. But yeah, I'm not really good at that part, which is maybe one of the most important parts to be good at, I think, especially when you're a small indie dev.
Let's talk about what you're playing, everyone.
Right.
Who want to start?
I can start. Have you played Half-Life 1 at any point?
Yes.
No.
For those who have, there is this mod that came out in 1999, I think, that's still going. Mod is called Sven Co-op. It's extremely, extremely fun. It's sort of a multiplayer mod for Half-Life 1. And it's only co-op, so you basically people create maps, sort of like how people used to create like custom maps for Counter-Strike 1.6. They just create a map that you have to complete, and it's either puzzles or you have to shoot like monsters or both, or just cooperate to get to the end of the mission. That's basically the whole game. Because it's made in Gold Source, the Half-Life 1 engine. For me, I only have at the moment my crappy laptop that barely has a graphic card. Like the frame rate and everything is great in that. So it's really, really good.
So it looks like an old school game as well. Old Half-Life.
Looks and feels and sounds exactly like a very old school game, I would say.
Would you say it's worth getting still? I haven't tried it. I know Half-Life series is a huge classic.
Considering the price tag is $0, I would say.
Oh, it's free.
Yes.
Oh,
from Steam or where is it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I really don't know how those guys keep doing it for free, but...
Oh, you're talking about the mod or the game?
Well, the mod sort of is a game. So it used to be just a mod, but now it's a standalone title on Steam. So I recommend it very highly.
Can you play it like LAN?
Yes, it's imagine exactly like Counter-Strike 1.6 except co-op.
Cool. We're going to some friends' summer house in the end of the month, and we're thinking about a game we should all play together.
Yes, I recommend it.
Cool. What are you playing, Hans?
I've been playing the same games pretty much since I was a kid. One of the biggest ones I've been playing is Team Fortress 2.
Nice.
I've been playing it since probably 12 years old, so I've been in it for a while. I mean, I don't know if you've kept up on Twitter. I guess you haven't been on Twitter that much.
No.
Right, there's been, for the past like 2-3 years, there's been some horrible stuff going on there.
So
it's been unplayable, pretty much.
Unplayable. So did they change like the game, like nerf stuff and...
No, it wasn't that the game itself was broken. It was bot infested. It was really, really bot infested. I don't know if you know anything about the games.
I know how it looks like and how it plays.
Yeah, and
I think I played it.
Different classes
Yeah.
and stuff. So basically what happened is people would host these bots
Yeah.
that would always pick the sniper class.
Right?
Use aimbot, obviously.
Oh,
Just obviously ruining the entire match.
right.
The game has a vote kicking system. So,
Yeah.
you try to vote kick them, they crash the server.
Oh.
Or they change their Steam name to copy someone in the lobby, their name and their pick.
Oh.
So people accidentally kicked the wrong person. And it was just chaos. And it went on for 2 years, I think, roughly. Valve didn't do anything about it.
But the bots, those are computers, or are they people using like cheating?
I mean, there's probably a lot of people who are actual players. But in the quantity that it was mainly bots.
But who? Why? Well, what's going on here? Why would you?
No idea.
So you just like release a bot into a game and then you go and I don't know watch Game of Thrones? Like, what's
I
the
guess.
point?
I think some of the people who did it said they were protesting that Valve had just given up on the game. But I mean, I don't know how effective it is to protest a game by ruining it. You may have seen on Twitter, it was for a couple of days, it was trending, like #1, #SaveTF2, because just everyone got together and tried to get Valve's attention, because they had just completely neglected it.
So was there any like response from them?
There was, actually. They did tweet out from the, I think, official like TF2 Twitter account that had been inactive for a long time. People got really excited, and then they eventually fixed it a bit, so it's not as bad anymore, at least.
Interesting.
Right.
Really interesting with those like old games, like for example RuneScape, that's had a bot problem since day one. I think it's sort of what do you call it, mouse and cat game.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2, that's also a Valve game.
Yeah.
But you haven't played Half-Life?
No, I haven't. I know it's super popular. It's a classic, but I haven't tried.
But you're quite young too. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm 20.
20, yeah. So I guess you're too young to be alive when the game was sort of big.
2002.
Yeah, so
Oh my god, that blows my mind.
I don't know when it came out. It came out probably when I was super young. Or
I
not
feel
even
like
born.
1997, 1998, but I don't know actually.
Was that the first one or second one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
So if you are gonna play like the first one for the story and like the sort of the soul of the game, I would recommend playing Black Mesa. It's a mod of the first game.
Yeah, I've
but
heard of
they
that.
ported it to source properly this time.
Right.
Oh,
Play
so,
that one first.
well, does that mean the graphics are all as well, or
They're
is it-
beautiful.
Oh,
the
okay, so
graphics,
it's
yeah.
cool.
So it's like they would have made it like today. Real stunning. Although I haven't played the ending because they released everything up to the Zen chapter. Then they worked for like another 5 years before they released like the full game. But I only played like the first half of it, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make a cool transition into what I'm playing, because you are playing an old Team Fortress 2, which is made by Valve, but you haven't played their sort of first type of game. And I'm a big From Software fan, and I'm playing 3D Game Hero, which seems to be one of their first games, which I didn't know.
So what was it called?
3D Game Hero, I think it is. It's only released on PlayStation 3, and it's only released as a physical game, which is pretty cool. And I played this when it came out during the PS3 era. And I thought, this is cool, but I never finished it. And then I must have sold it because I can't find it. And then like 2 months ago, I bought it on eBay. So the price is sort of steep now because it's sort of like a collector game.
Right.
And then I popped that into my old PS3, which was quite weird to boot that thing for the first time in ages. And then I see From Software. I'm like, damn, that's so cool. Like, I'm such a From Software fan, but I didn't know they made this game. So it's sort of like me playing the later From Software games and now back to the first one. So that's what I'm playing now, 3D Game Hero. So it's basically Zelda on Super Nintendo. It's almost like making fun of that game. It's very similar in every way, except that, like in the beginning of the game, they will say something like, "The people of the world thought the 2D was no longer fun, thus 3D." So imagine like it's in 3D, but it's still in 2D. It's weird. It looks kind of like wacky.
I think
2.5.
2.5. It's models instead of sprites.
Yeah, they're 3D models instead of sprites. So yeah, and it's quite hard. It has that sort of From Software, what do you call it, death and reward system.
Right. So
Punish, reward.
Maybe a stupid question, but the same people who did Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Elden Ring. So, for example, in this game, when you have full health and you use your sword, it's very wide. And then you can upgrade your sword, and at some point, it will cover the whole screen. So when you use it, it's just like, zoom. Yeah. It like kills everything. Right. So, but then if the enemy gets you, you lose hearts, like a Zelda game, and then the sword becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and then when it's very small, it's quite hard it's quite hard game. But damn, it's weird to play on PlayStation 3 and the loading times and all that. It's I can't believe that used to be the standard, So, but that's what I'm playing. I haven't played that much, maybe 3 hours at this point.
Any games that you would like to play, but you haven't?
Elden Ring, probably.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at getting into new games, but Elden Ring is one that I kind of want to get into.
I always feel like I have like too little time to play From Software games. I would like to finish one at some point. I mean, I bought Demon's Souls back when I had my PS3, but I never finished it because of frustration, I would say. It's fun when you actually progress and take the time to do it, but it's so frustrating to die over and over and over and not feeling like you're making progress.
Speaking of Demon's Souls, I also bought that when it first came out, and then I was in Sweden during the summer or something like that, and then I started playing it and stopped too, because it was like, Jesus Christ, it's too hard. But it was something about it that made me want to play it again, so I bought it again in Japan. So now I have, on my trophy list, I have 2 Demon's Souls, and both of them have like 0% trophies, because I didn't make it like anywhere in the game. So then I was like, damn, this is like, who plays this? And then I sort of skipped all the Dark Souls games, and then when Bloodborne came out, I bought that, not knowing that it was From Software. I bought that mainly because of the settings. It's my absolute favorite, this Victorian England setting. So I bought the game, and then I got hooked, and I was like, From Software again. So they've been haunting me for a while, and now I'm just so hooked on them. And yeah, Elden Ring is, I actually bought it for PS5, but I don't have a PlayStation 5. So it just sits there, looks at me. That's also what I want to play. But not next, because in the end of the month, we're going to the summer house, and then I'm planning to either buy Grandia. Did you guys play that on PlayStation 1?
I have not heard of it.
It's a JRPG. So there's a Grandia Collection remastered. Was released on the Switch not too long ago, maybe a year ago. So I'm planning to buy that one.
Cool. Have you guys heard of Stray, the cat game?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes, I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So if I had the money, I would get a PS5, get a really big 4K TV, and play it in the dark.
Is it only on PS5?
I don't know, but I think it would look great on PS5.
I think it's on PS4 as well, and Xbox and the rest.
But you want the latest, because it's a higher number, so therefore it must be better.
True that. That's actually a game I would like to play with my wife. Maybe she could get into it, just because it's a cat. And I heard it's quite simple-ish. It feels like more like a story-driven walking game.
Yeah, I saw a couple of short videos about it. You just sort of like a platformer. But I saw the cat was being chased by something. I don't know what it was.
Yes, exactly. I saw that too. Other than that, I have no idea what it is about. But I think there is more challenge than just walking.
Okay.
I hope.
It looked really beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's like the main appeal. I have no idea if it's good, just that it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Should we wrap this up, or how do you guys feel?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah? Felt like we talked a lot about your game. We got to promote it, and I felt like it was good. Yeah. And what we're playing and all that stuff. So sweet.
Yeah. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And to the community, if anyone else there is making a game, that's how Hannes got on the show. He promoted his game on the Discord channel. Right. And then now you're sitting here talking about it. It's really fun to hear what others, what people are making. So if anyone else want to come on the show, please do so. Doesn't have to be from the Discord community. Really, anyone who makes games.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have anything you want to say about the game, or something you feel like we didn't ask? We sort of became a bit technical at times.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Cool. Do you have a website or somewhere you wanna send people?
Got a Twitter I'm trying to build up.
And where can they find you on Twitter?
At Seyloj, Seyloj. I guess that's where I publish most of my updates.
Cool.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, people, for listening.
So see you next week or something like that. Yeah?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.